Action News Jax investigates a new Florida law stripping away gun rights for certain people.
It's called a risk protection order. Action News Jax investigator Kevin Clark uncovers how they're being used and why some gun rights advocates say it goes too far.
The use of risk protection orders to seize guns and place bans on gun ownership is part of the state law passed after the Parkland school shooting. According to FDLE, there are 715 temporary and permanent RPOs currently in effect.
Ben Amwick is raising his children in this quiet Columbia County neighborhood, but he can still remember the afternoon in May when gunshots rang out at a home down the street.
I just heard pow, 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 like a bunch of them off in a row.
58-year-old Thomas DeFore had confronted his wife and her boyfriend there. According to this police report, DeFore fired in their direction multiple rounds from a .223 assault rifle. They were lucky no one was hurt, but 6 months later, you can still see bullet holes in the side of the house. Deputies quickly filed for a risk protection order, which allows law enforcement to strip someone of their gun rights if they're believed to be a risk to themselves or others. A judge approved it, authorizing the seizure of a dozen firearms from DeFore's home, including ammo and magazines. As part of the order, DeFore couldn't possess or purchase a gun for 1 year.
You shot a weapon at living people. You don't deserve a weapon, let alone your freedom after that, I believe.
Law enforcement agencies statewide have been petitioning for RPOs since April, and I've learned judges have signed off on most of them. I spent months collecting the data and found as of August there were more than 100 RPOs in effect in Broward County. Here in Jacksonville, law enforcement has only petitioned for 3. The number is 0 in Clay, St. Johns, and Nassau counties. Thomas DeFore is one of 5 active risk protection orders in Columbia County.
There's nothing this law does that isn't already covered by existing laws.
Attorney Eric Friday calls the law redundant and says it allows law enforcement and the courts to strip gun rights away in an arbitrary way.
They're letting a judge make a mental health determination with no expert testimony whatsoever.
One gray area case is that of 21-year-old UCF student Christian Velasquez. His father turned over his own gun to school police after his son reportedly praised mass shooters online, including Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz. The judge refused to sign a risk protection order against Velasquez, but opponents use this as an example of how the law could infringe on free speech rights.
We have departments that have used things that people posted on social media that constitute free speech to take away people's gun rights. We've even had departments take away other people in the home's guns because of what another resident did in the home.
But Amway calls the law another layer of protection for his family and others. Kevin Clark, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
There are some police agencies in Florida that have dedicated risk protection order units. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office does not. Action News Jax Investigates has reached out to JSO repeatedly to ask why they've applied for so few RPOs, but we have not heard back. Many of you have been voting in our live poll. We asked, what are your views of gun laws in Florida? And right now, 66% of you say too strict, 13% say just right, and 21% of you say not strict enough. You can cast your vote still by going to actionnewsjax.com/vote.